What is up, NASCAR fans? You're watching the NASCAR Nitro Series on the HSL Diecast Racing Channel, and we're here at Sonoma today for the modified road course race. At the end of this, we're going to see the top 10 in points heading into the All-Star break. There are a lot of drivers on the bubble without very many points in between them. We had a couple of them DNQ. A couple of them are starting on the front row of their segments. The distance between 5th and 15th is only 100 points heading into this race. Only Clyde is mathematically locked in. It's going to be one intense battle that won't be resolved until the checkered flag flies. And to kick it off, we got our pole sitter and one of the championship contenders, Burt Buzzard. Next to him is Sloppy Bear and Christy. Next to them, the flea market car of Tyler Bloodfish somehow finished the lap there. Gail, one of the new stocks that were just mailed in, and Misty G from Puffs Racing, another championship contender. The gates are down and Sloppy Bear looked like he was keeping up with Burt Buzzard, but he pulls away as they head into the funnel chute. And the rest of the field falls in a tight pack behind him. Everybody made it through there on their wheels, and it looks like Gail might be a little bit intimidated by these bigger, heavier cars. Meanwhile, Christy falls in behind Burt Buzzard to take second place and cautions out for an El Reco. Another self-inflicted first lap DNF for Sloppy Bear, who is having the opposite season of his teammate Gray, who is currently just 6 points out of the All-Star race. And as he gets towed to the HSL junkyard, we're going to drop the green flag for lap number 2. I'm not sure what my camera just did, but Christy actually got the jump on Burt Buzzard heading into that lap. They're heading out of turns 1 and 2 side by side still. Neither one of them giving the other an inch, and Christy gets the upper hand heading into the final lap. It looks like Gail is upside down and Misty G is on her side as well. Misty G just zigzagging across the track and wiping out coming out of turn number 2. And Gail losing some momentum in turn number 1 looked great in the stock race. But Misty G coming into this race just in second place, just 58 points behind the leader. It's the opposite of how she wanted her day to go. And now it is time for the final lap of this segment. We have Christy and Burt Buzzard neck and neck again. Burt Buzzard gets the advantage heading into the funnel chute. And look at that devastating block Christy throws on Tyler Bloodfish to cement her spot into the seconds race. She knew that that was just a field filler. There's no repercussions for knocking him off of the track. We're going to replay this. A perfect takedown, reverse side draft, using that rear quarter panel to banish that field filler into the corner he called home all race weekend. Meanwhile, Burt Buzzard moves on to another main event, while the tow truck takes Tyler Bloodfish, who's actually pretty good for a flea market car, back to a place he's familiar with from the stocks race, the HSL junkyard. And now moving on to segment number 2. Baby Richie starting second overall next to our Daytona 500 winner Heather, Casey Kane and Giorgio from Pacific Coast International Raceway, Riot Isaac for Puff, and Chase Elliott driving our stock points leader car because William once again qualified for this race. And Heather's looking really smooth through the funnel chute, and Baby Richie too, but Casey Kane gets caught attempting that Tony Hawk Pro Skater move that almost ruined Sawyer's day in the stock race. He gets beached in the middle of turns 1 and 2 and cautions out. Looks like Giorgio's on his roof. And let's go to the replay to see what exactly happened there. Let's look at him and Casey Kane get tangled up coming out of the funnel chute. Casey Kane goes off the track, tags a spectator's car. That basically saves him from flipping over too. Meanwhile, Heather and Baby Richie speed away as the rest of the field gets caught up behind Giorgio's wreck. Meanwhile, you see Casey Kane here driving vertically up the bank turn. He almost hits Chase Elliott before coming to a stop halfway up and planting his wheels on the ground in dead last heading into lap number 2. That's an unfortunate crash for Giorgio, whose teammate Christy will have her best career finishes going into the seconds race. And while he gets towed away, we're going to start lap number 2. Heather still has the number 1 starting spot. Baby Richie, though, gets a great jump coming out of the start gate. Has about a car length lead over Heather and Chase Elliott. They collide and they spin, but they both stay on their wheels. That allows Casey Kane, though, to zip right past Chase Elliott. Now he's battling Riot Isaac for third. Riot Isaac will hold him off for this lap, but it's been clear that Baby Richie and Heather were the cars to beat, and now the gates are down for lap number 3. Heather and Baby Richie get a great start out of the gate. Heading into the funnel chute, they're about a track segment length ahead of anybody else. And Baby Richie tries to pit maneuver Heather. It doesn't work. She bounces right off of him like a pinball, and Baby Richie has to block the rest of the field to preserve second place. What an incredible final lap. 5 finishes. We're going to show this on the replay again. You see Baby Richie's failed pit maneuver. They both get sideways. Nobody at all wrecks out despite losing all that speed in the middle of the turn. And Heather runs away with it. She really needed a good points day like this. Baby Richie to the seconds race. It's been a night and day difference with this new car. He looks really fast as well. Now we're starting segment number 3. On the pole for this segment is Lucky Jackson. Next to him, Lord Raymond. William in the number 9. We got Puff in the number 6 and 2 of the stocks. Emerson, one of the new mail-ins, as well as Morgan Shepherd, who is in the All-Star race. And the gates are down. It looks like Emerson has some trouble getting out of the start gate. He looked pretty fast in the stocks race. Don't know what's going on there. But Lord Raymond takes a 2-car length lead heading into turn numbers 1 and 2. Lucky Jackson gets through that wreck for second place. Cautions out. Puff and William are caught up in it. Looks like Morgan Shepherd overturned. And I don't know what happened to Emerson, but he might get a mechanical DNF. He is just lucky this didn't happen on the final lap, or else this would have been a mechanical DNF. We're going to pivot the HSL blimp over to the start gate, see where Emerson, yep, he is still in his original starting spot. Morgan Shepherd's getting towed over to the junkyard. He'll be starting this lap in dead last. I won't even have to move his car, and the gates are down. Looks like he broke free this time. Meanwhile, Lucky Jackson takes the lead here. Puff in second place. He makes contact with Lord Raymond, who skids across the track, flips over on his roof, cautions out El Recco. Williams caught up in this mess too. Looks like he tried to use William to stabilize, ends up wrecking them both. We're going to replay this one in slow motion. Looks like Lord Raymond, Puff, and William all get tangled up heading into turn number 1. Looks like William stayed on his wheels for a while after the initial contact and just bins it after everybody's passed him. Lord Raymond and Puff are already locked in the All-Star race. William, he's probably going to have to race his way in after this. He was coming into this race in 11th place. And it's hard to tell whose fault that was, but I'm sure drivers will be playing the blame game heading into the All-Star break. Now for the final lap, we have Lucky Jackson in first place. Next to him is Puff and finally Emerson. Lucky Jackson's opened up a 3-4 car length lead heading into the funnel chute. All three drivers navigate it flawlessly and settle into their positions on the track. Lucky Jackson pulling away heading into the finish line. It'll be his very first main event. Puff to the seconds race and Emerson in the stock to the thirds. And up next, Po Boy's going to lead him down for segment number 4. Next to him, it's one of our special guest drivers, Szechuan Broccoli. Go Birds. Harry Hoon, Gavin McSpladge, Charlie Verney, and Sparky Racer. 0 field fillers, unless you count Szechuan Broccoli. The gates are down, and Po Boy's got a half a car length lead heading into the funnel chute. Sparky Racer takes a ride off the side. We got somebody upside down. That looks like Gavin McSpladge. Cautions out for an El Recco, and it looks like Po Boy loses his speed coming out of turn number 2. Wrecks while leading. A lap 1 El Recco is the last thing he needed, as he was one of the bubble drivers heading into this race. Sitting at 10th place in points, he had 2 main event appearances, but got 7th place in both of them. We're going to check on Sparky Racer. There he is on his wheels. Szechuan Broccoli is going to lead him down to the start for lap number 2. And they are 3, almost 4 wide heading into the funnel chute. Harry Hoon breaks away for a slight lead. A lot of position shifting. Charlie Verney settles into third, looks a bit squirrely there, manages to stay on his wheels, but Harry Hoon leads lap number 2 by 3+ track segments. And you can see Charlie Verney roll away there. He's going to start in 4th place. Looks like Sparky Racer got hung up on the start gate a little bit. Szechuan Broccoli pulls away from that inside lane. And Charlie Verney tries the shortcut again. This time he doesn't lose a lot of speed like all the other people that tried it. Still doesn't pass the front runners though. And Szechuan Broccoli to his very first career main event. Unless, of course, you count a certain football game whose name is copyrighted. And now, kicking off segment number 5, we have Gray on the pole for Sloppy Bear Racing. Next to him, Elton Sawyer. Great qualifying run for him. Mike Honcho, Bobby Allison, the field fillers of Coffee Tart and Hurts So Good. The other bird car, Go Birds. Mike Honcho and Bobby Allison take the lead heading into the funnel chute, and cautions out El Recco. Bobby Allison and Mike Honcho take each other out on the first lap. Neither of them are going to be very happy with each other. After running away from the rest of the field on lap 1, making contact heading into the first turn, both of these guys aren't going to make it into the All-Star race unless they win the fan vote. And both of them have had to watch teammates have more success than they've had. I'm sure they both have a bitter pit in their stomach as to what could have been for this race. But we got to move on to lap number 2. Gray's going to lead him to the start again. And look at Coffee Tart in the stock. Leads this one heading into the funnel chute by over a car length. And Coffee Tart takes it too fast. Catapults herself into the infield somersault 6 or 7 times and gets hung out to dry. Gray is dominating this segment. Hurts So Good moves up to 2nd place, Elton Sawyer to 3rd, and we're going to show this slowed down big time on the replay. Coffee Tart takes that with way too much speed, tosses herself into the infield, somersaults 5.5 times before finally landing safely on her wheels. Tell me in the comment section whether you like that flip or Sawyer's flip in the stock race better. Now we're heading into the final lap of this segment. It's been the Gray show so far. Coffee Tart, though, moving up from 4th to 1st here, takes the funnel chute with too much speed again, jumps even higher and flips around. This time she's not so lucky and lands on her roof. Gray loses his momentum in the middle of turns 3 and 4, but that's so far ahead of everybody else. It's going to be Gray to the main event and Elton Sawyer to the seconds race. Coffee Tart, playing with house money, wrecks it on the final lap. Gets towed off to the junkyard, while Elton Sawyer, it'll be his career best finish. I don't think he's made a seconds race yet. Let's see if someone from this segment, our final segment of the day, can get a career best finish. They'll have their work cut out for them because 2 winners are starting 1-2. Clyde, your Martinsville winner, and Gale Force, your Texas winner. Next to them is J-Bo for Dog Squad Racing. Johnson Jr., your all-time stock win leader. The Slate Belt Owlman and the field filler of Rusty Wallace. And J-Bo takes the lead heading into the funnel chute. He flies away from everybody else. Armageddon breaks out behind him, and he just leaves everybody behind in the dust. Clyde makes his way through that too. But surprisingly, taking a look at the blimp footage, nobody actually crashed. Now it's time for lap number 2. J-Bo's looking really strong, got a car length lead heading into the funnel chute. Clyde and Gale Force, 2 of your biggest championship contenders, fighting for second. Gale gets forced off the track. Rusty Wallace stalls there but moves up to 3rd by default. And it looks like an El Reco for Johnson Jr. And it looks like his own stock teammate, Rusty Wallace, reverse side drafts him and causes him to lose his footing on the front straightaway. As these cars are owned by yours truly, I'll definitely be reaming out Rusty Wallace in the morning meeting. But what the heck, they're stocks. They're not really competing for points in the mod series at all. We're going to go down to the final lap in this segment. The gates are down and they're 4 wide halfway down the ramp. Looks like Gale Force and J-Bo move ahead of the rest of the crowd. It's a tight pack heading into turn number 1, but they settle into one lane. It's a train of cars. Clean racing with no crashes on this lap so far. J-Bo gets loose. Clyde tries to make a move, but it's too late. J-Bo wins this segment by less than half a car length. We're going to replay this. What an epic finish. Clyde, our points leader, still a great points day for him, especially when a bunch of the other contenders crashed. And there's the Owlman hung up on the start gate again. That's going to be considered a DNF, a lap 2 El Reco equivalent to that, 29th place. And that's because he only completed the first lap. He got hung up on there twice. That's a mechanical DNF. This may be the last time you see that car, unless he wins the All-Star Open. I may withdraw him from the Coke 600 to make a replacement for the Brickyard. And now it's time for the 4th race. We got Chase Elliott on the pole. Next to him, Rusty Wallace, Sparky Racer, and Riot Isaac. I should say the 4th and 5th races, one of the segment had 5 finishers. The gates are down. They are 4 wide. Sparky Racers losing a little bit of ground, but they're still very close heading into the funnel chute. And cautions out for the big one. Right here is why after the All-Star Open, you'll only be seeing that at Daytona and Talladega. We got 3 out of the 4 cars on their roofs. It was like Chase Elliott almost saved it there. Sparky Racer moves on to the 3rd race by default. And he'll be joining our pole sitter for the 3rd race, Gale Force, who could not have been happy with her finish in the segment. Next to her is Casey Kane. Emerson, Charlie Vernie. Emerson's got trouble with the start gate again. There he goes. Meanwhile, it's 3 wide heading into the funnel chute. A couple of cars go flying. Casey Kane makes it through the carnage, has about a 2-car length lead over Sparky Racer heading towards the finish line. Meanwhile, Emerson picks himself up a couple spots after passing Charlie Vernie and Gale Force, who are beached on the side of the track. But on these road courses, the position races are only 1 lap apiece, so we're going to be moving on to the seconds race. On the pole for that, we have Baby Richie, who's looked really fast in that new car. Next to him, our points leader, Clyde, alongside Elton Sawyer and Christie, both looking for their best career finishes. Puff, Harry Hoon, and Casey Kane make up the rest of the field. And Baby Richie takes a car length lead heading into the funnel chute. Christie wrecks in turn 1 and is on her roof. Baby Richie's running away as Clyde blocks the rest of the field. Baby Richie takes the seconds race. He'll be going to back-to-back main events for him. Clyde, Puff, and Harry Hoon round out your top 10. Elton Sawyer 11th and Christie in 12th. Career best finishes for them. Casey Kane stuck at the start gate. That's the 2nd time this year this has happened. And he's got to be a contender for Bad Luck Driver of the Year. But there's a couple other guys that have had lots of bad luck too, including a bunch of the drivers in today's main event. Lucky Jackson, J-Bo, and Heather have all seen their fair share of mishaps caused by other drivers while they had a fast car. Can any one of them make it past the lightning fast Burt Buzzard, who started on the pole and looked really good all weekend long? It looks like Lucky Jackson, as well as Heather, take a bit of a lead heading into the funnel chute. Clean racing so far. Burt Buzzard falls back to 3rd, gets a little bit of a bump draft from J-Bo. Baby Richie starting in that 3rd row. shoves Gray off the guardrails. El Reco for Gray. He can't be too happy with Baby Richie about that. The gates are down for lap number 2, and it's going to be Heather and Lucky Jackson pulling away from the rest of the pack, and J-Bo is up there with him too. And it looks like the only casualty from that's going to be Heather. J-Bo slides through the wreckage and takes a 3-car length lead over Baby Richie, who also makes it through the mess. And Baby Richie actually catches up to his back bumper, and is Burt Buzzard on his side too? Yes, he is. Burt Buzzard's out of the race. He was forced onto the high line in turn 2 and binned it from there. And now it's time for the final lap. J-Bo's going to lead him to the start. Baby Richie in second. Lucky Jackson's looked fast. Szechuan Broccoli survived a wreck fest of a segment. None of these drivers have a podium, much less a win. We're going to be seeing 3 fresh faces on the podium no matter what happens, and they are 4 wide halfway down the ramp. And it looks like Baby Richie's got a car length lead over the rest of the pack there. They collide in the funnel chute, and Saquon and J-Bo are on their sides. J-Bo trying to catch up with Baby Richie, won't get it there in time. Baby Richie slides across the finish line for his first career NASCAR Nitro Series win. Congratulations to Puff on your first career Modified Series victory. Baby Richie's looked really good in that new car. He's been almost unstoppable on the track since it came in the mail. With this win, he gets into the All-Star race. Did ruffle a few feathers to get there. Congratulations to Dog Squad Racing and Po' Boy Racing on your very first podiums. Those cars look great on the wide open fat track. We'll be seeing a lot more of these kind of tracks this season. Now let's take a look at the final race results. In addition to your podium finishers today, Szechuan Broccoli and Burt Buzzard make up your top 5. Heather and Gray, great points days for them. Clyde, Puff, and Harry Hoon in the seconds race round out your top 10. The points were tight, separating 5th from 15th heading into this race. The points were tight from 5th to 15th heading into this race. Any one of these bubble drivers could have made it in there. Elton Sawyer 11th, Christie, Casey Kane, and Sparky Racer. Good runs for them. Emerson was the highest finishing stock. We had 21 cars finish the segment races today. Rusty Wallace was the last of those. He was in the 4th and 5th race. Here we have some other DNFers. William, Po' Boy, Lord Raymond, Gavin McSplage. All of them needed good points days and didn't get it. Mike Honcho in last place. Must hurt to watch his teammate get a podium there. And this is the moment you've all been waiting for, the final points tally before the All-Star break. Clyde, your points leader by 70 over Burt Buzzard. Gray and Lucky Jackson make it in at the expense of Po' Boy and Gaza, who DNQ'd. Riot Isaacs in 10th place with 636 points, and that's only 27 points ahead of William, who had an early DNF in this race. Po' Boy DNF'd as well, only 36 points out of it. Heather moves up to 13th with that top 10. J-Bo moves into the top half of the bracket with that podium finish. Charlie Verney up to 15th. Gaza holds on to 16th, and those will be your front rows of your All-Star Open segments. And here's the rest of the drivers. Owlman, Mike Honcho. Highest ranking stock is Chase Elliott, who of course is the McDonald's Twins cars. Those cars are fast for stocks. And here's the rest of the points. Hopefully Chef Squid will turn his season around. Mostly stocks, and these guys are all stocks actually. 37 through 55 here. Rowdy Bush should have last place locked down unless he actually finishes high in a stock race. You won't have too many more opportunities to do that. And don't forget, if you want to see your cars race on the track for the second half of the season, it's never too late to send them to HSL Diecast, P.O. Box 7, Wingap, PA. And if you haven't cast your All-Star fan vote yet, we still have plenty of time for that. Currently, J-Bo leads the mods with 2 votes. And for the stocks, it's currently a tie between Coffee Tart and regular Isaac, also with 2. Remember, you got to pick your 2 favorite drivers in case one of them wins the All-Star Open. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you out there on the track.